players like the 15 hatch them. It's risky, but sometimes the payoff is worth it. And of course, you do have the in-base expansion, which makes it just a little bit safer to play those macro-orientated build styles. However, we do have the higher ground towards the middle of the map, which can be great for overlord placement or other things like that. But since we've loaded in a little bit earlier, let's talk about these players. In the bottom side position, we do have spawning for Red Bloods, PiLiPiLi, going to be our Protoss player. And in the top side, we do have Next. And I'm not going to try and pronounce his clan because I will butcher it. Yeah. Sending out that Overlord straight away, which is quite nice. Going to get that early scout as soon as possible, which is what you expect from your top-level players. And is PiLiPiLi going to go for the pylon in base again? I assume so, because there's almost no point not doing it, because your base is also in the middle.
Do you think we'll see any gold base plays here from Next on this map?
I do hope so. I've seen a few players do it. It's hard to hold, but then some players do it every game, so they get really good at it. So it's really going to come down to Next. Less so on this one, more on is it Zelnaga Caverns, the one with the gold in the middle?
Yes.
Can't remember.
So Zelnaga Caverns has the gold base in the middle.
That one seems to be a little bit more common with their 15 hatches of gold, because you have to scout every other close base before you scout the gold, so it's a little bit harder to deny. Seeing that gateway being thrown off the wall, so none of that Forge shenanigans. This one, Forges can actually be quite surprisingly effective. People think they're a little bit safer because they have the in-base expansion, so if you do sneak the probe in, you can get the unscouted cannon up pretty quickly.
A lot of Zergs also like to take the low ground, the third base, as their natural expansion, so, as Next is doing right now, which is surprisingly good for cannon rushing.
It's a little bit interesting. I think, do they just automatically assume you're going to pro block the natural in base, so they take the third base, or do they want to take an easier third base? Because there might be that reason as well.
So if you take the natural later, it's going to mine out later. And it also gives you great creep spread because you're starting from below
That's a very
your ramp.
good point.
So the creep spread is one of the biggest things. A lot of Zergs really like it, but is this going to be a 3-hatch before pool?
It might be a little bit of a bad decision because we do have that Chronobisted Zealot being sent out straight away. No gas yet, so he's going to go Zealot, then Nexus. But the first single Zealot can do a lot of damage if it's non-scouted, and we are seeing the 3-hatch, which is still not at the supposed natural location for Next.
That's such a
very
greedy place to take your 3rd hatch. I guess maybe it won't get scouted, but I mean, why not your natural or the gold base if you're going to put it that exposed?
Yeah, I do like the gold base. But, considering we're talking about economic plays, I don't mind this. And it might be for that creep spread benefit that we were talking about a little bit earlier, just starting that spawning pool now as well.
But the Zealot, the pool is just now started, so it's going to be fighting purely drones. So it could do
Which is very nice. If you actually get it into one of the mineral locations, it can be very hard for the Zerg player to take that out. So it might disrupt a little bit of mining for a little bit, so it'll pay for itself. And it should be able to see the spawning pool timing and know that there's a 3-hatch. Is it going to get there? Yep.
Oh, very nice position on that Zealot. Nice drone micro here from Next, actually not losing a single drone.
He's going to lose 2 now if he's not careful. There we go.
And the 3rd one?
And a 3rd goes down.
Micro started off really nice. PiLiPiLi taking advantage of the drone position. Now a really...
That's a sweet spot. Yeah. That's a really cool spot between the spawning pool and the minerals, because only 2 drones will be able to focus that. And if he continues mining, PiLiPiLi is just going to focus that hurt one.
Oh, gets surrounded.
Oh, full surround, going to be taken out straight away. But that was quite nice, taking a few early drones. PiLiPiLi's got to be feeling quite good about that, but he doesn't know that's actually a 3-hatch, but he should know because of spawning pool timing. But, actually not going to have a cannon. I'm going for the Stalker, not Sentry first. Will the counterlings, will they get into? Going straight for Stargate.
Well, it depends if he decides to send the Stalker out or leaves it to block.
He's sending it at the back at the moment, and he doesn't have the Mothership core. There we go, it's been moved instead to the ramp there.
So the Zealot being chronoed out.
I must admit, I was a little bit worried there. I was like, wow, is PiLiPiLi going to take an expansion, do great economic damage to begin with, and then lose to the 6-lings?
Right, so
Next should be able to, oh my god, is he going to be able to get in there? No, that is tight.
Good pylon placement.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah. So with the Zealot out.
Looks like he actually will get the kill on the Stalker though.
Yeah.
And they are going to be able to slip out. But 3 Zerglings for a Stalker, I'll take that deal any day. That Oracle is on the way now as well. Do you actually see the Stargate? I think that's a little bit too far away. Yeah, it is. It's just outside of that vision.
Yeah, so
trying to take that economic advantage.
the queens are actually incredibly late here for next. I know his pull finished up quite some time ago, but the queen's just now coming out. Very strange play. I can't imagine. Maybe for
He was droning that entire time. He's actually got less drones now than PiLiPiLi though, sitting on 31 to 38. Militia Core's just finishing now as well, and that Oracle is about halfway across the map. It is going to be scouted by the Zergling, but we don't see any emergency spore crawlers coming up now. And they're halfway done. They should be done by the time the Oracle gets there.
So yeah, Zorko might get a few kills. Ultimately going to get pushed away though.
It's going to be pushed away, I would imagine, by the spore crawler. Yeah. 1, 2, and he should focus down the third, and there it goes. So it's nice to get the ones on gas though.
It keeps it alive, so it's going to be useful for Revelation later. We can try and go back in and get a few more kills.
Actually, we've got to be thinking, what is PiLiPiLi thinking? Because he scouted that natural location and saw that there was no third there, so...
And he's still over the gold base. He's probably very confused right now, but seeing that third base, he'll...
That's a relax moment right there, because I was waiting for the emergency defense. Like, is this a roach blast? But instead, we are seeing double Oracle, triple Oracle production. So going to mass Oracle is what's that play? Is Oracle King the guy? Yeah, Oracle King's the guy who does. Have you seen him play before?
Yeah, I know. We've seen MC do this a few times as well, where you just get like 6 or 7 Oracles just fly in and you can focus down
just wreck. Actually, yeah, I see some of those pro players who manage to mix the Oracle into their main army composition. It's something I've never actually been able to do, but I've seen other players do it. It's like I'm so envious of. You have to have that top control just to keep all the Oracles alive, but they can do so much damage against stuff like Hydras. And at the moment, we're still sitting on. We haven't finished lair tech. It's almost 3/4 of the way complete now. So Hydra's going to be a ways off. He could just be going up against Ling Queen, which Oracles, of course, are very good at.
There's no additional queens being produced, so he's only got 3 queens right now, which are just going to get absolutely decimated by the amount of Oracles that PiLiPiLi is producing here.
Yeah, Nex doesn't know about the Oracles. He's actually... He knows about one Stargate, but he doesn't know about the other 2.
And I think the funniest thing behind this is PiLiPiLi's taking a third base while producing 3 Oracles at a time. Usually you see more of an all-in style with this,
actually he doesn't get the surround on the Stalker. A little bit of miss micro from Nex there. It would have been like to take it off a little bit quicker.
But the Zeal are doing a good job keeping that hold position. No Lings are going to get in, and the Oracles are going to use this opportunity.
Lings actually do get the scout on the Oracles, though. That is quite big. And he goes over this Zeal Naga tower again. So he's not afraid of showing it.
All the drones being migrated out of the main base, he's just going to spore up his natural and try to hold there. Interesting
that might
choice.
Be a smart move, though.
But he could just take these Oracles and just kill all the tech in the main if he so chooses. Oh, but Hydras are coming out. But if they pop right now, they're actually going to get slaughtered.
Yeah, they're going to get focused down pretty quickly, and the Queens are going to be able to do the same. Look how fast the lair goes down.
He's actually going to try and snipe down this lair. He is really low on energy, though. Not sure if he's going to
can't stay here for much longer. They're all going to start running out pretty soon. And we do have the Hydras coming in to reinforce and the burrowing Spore Crawler. And I think they're just about out of energy. One still has 24, 23, 21, and 7. There's going to be just a few Oracles remaining. They're not going to be able to get the staff on the lair, which is a little bit unfortunate because I'm sure that's what he was going for. And considering the response timing from Nex, it's like I thought he would have been able to get it, but Nex played that off quite well, just trying to pull the Oracles away and try and engage with other units while saving the lair.
So PiLiPiLi is going into Void Rays behind this. He's making 2 at a time. He's going to have about 6 out, but +1 attack is finishing now for +1 range attack is finishing for next. But he's going into pathogen drones
mass gateways. I'm waiting for the Twilight Council because there it is. There's the charge. Because Charge Lot Void Ray is actually an amazingly powerful composition against the Zerg race. Like, that's all you need, pretty much, and you've got yourself set. But if the Zerg does scout it and then they go into mutas, it can be a little bit more difficult. But then again, you're also on the 3 Stargates, so you can transition to Phoenixes quite easily as well. Working on that +2 weapon attacks, as well as getting the Archons through that Templar Archives being thrown down now as well.
So I'm really curious to see how the Infestors come into play here from Nex.
We don't have any transfuses. He's actually going to get the lair. Oh, going back in to get that. That's got to hurt from
getting really good value out of those 4 Oracles that barely survived.
They didn't. He didn't remake the lair either. Like, having a lair that hurt, I probably would have saved for a transfuse if I was next, and like perfect 2020 hindsight vision, or would have started morphing it in another location because he's been reset back to that hatchery tech.
Yeah, another layer is on the way, and he's got all of his tech that he really wants. The only thing that's going to hurt him here is he's not going to be able to get +2 missile attack, but he's already got the Hydras and the Infestors. Which
Yeah,
is
the Infestors are... I think that's where we were lacking last game, was that he only had the Roach Hydra.
So if
that
the
spreads, like what we're talking about a little bit early in the game, that's become phenomenal. It's halfway across the map already. He's looking to push that advantage.
PiLiPiLi also hasn't scouted the Infestation Pit, and there really haven't been any Infestors made. He's making one right now. But if he's not careful with these Void Rays actually get destroyed by fungal growth.
Well, it's also locking the Zealots in place with a charge.
Yes, the Zealots as well.
Because all we're sitting on, again, is just mass Hydra. And if those Zealots do get the charge off and they do get the close, and they be able to engage those Hydras in that one-on-one battle, I guess you could call it, they're going to get wrecked. Hydras will get wrecked by charged Zealots.
Yes, they do.
So, it's not even close. So where's our Storm at? Yeah, it's at 3/4.
Oh man, look at the supply here for...
I know, it's looking insane.
PiLiPiLi, like, a lot of his supply isn't Zealots, but the Zealots are going to be so cost-effective against the army.
He's done a lot of damage, and so far the only attacking units he's actually used have been that first Zealot to start with, which killed the 3 drones, and then just the Oracles. It's the 6 Oracles he produced earlier on. So he played this game out really nicely. He's going to be able to take his 4th now as well. So I think it's going to come down to the fungals. If he can fungal... Like, yes, fungling on the Void Rays would be nice, but I think he's got to stop the Charge Zealots closing in on the Hydras as well, so it might be better to choose to fungal them instead. Getting a nice engagement under Spores would be nice as well. Which is what he's looking like to set up right here with his wall.
The Void Ray count is getting absolutely insane, and with Storm done here,
dangerous.
Yeah, the Hydras can't... It's going to be a hard engagement here for the Hydras to face the Void Rays with all
and
the stuff.
full energy on the Militia Core as well.
Yes.
Right, guys, here we go. Oh, a little bit of Witch Storm, but he does have the energy that he can do that.
Beautiful fungal there, catches all the High Templar. If he gets one more fungal off, those are all going to be dead, if not, or really low, if not dead.
Yeah, PiLiPiLi clumping his army quite heavily. Another good fungal,
wow,
which is
that's
all
fungal.
Void Rays. That's fantastic. A really good surround here as well. Storm dodging like a madman is next. Oh, gonna eat one a little bit there.
And I think the Void Rays might just be a little bit too strong here. A little bit of lag from RK9. RIP. That was my Codecaster. And it sounds like he has gone from Skype. Very unfortunate. So the Void Rays are...
I'm back again. So
he is back. Did you get dropped from the game?
Nope, I'm still in the game.
Okay, cool.
Because I got my tricks that keep me in. Oh yeah, no DC today.
Alright, so 10 Void Rays are left from that fight. All the Zealots and the High Templars do go down, but he saves a Void Ray, which is just going to force a lot more Hydras to be made from next here.
Yeah, that looks like a fantastic engagement from next. That split and the surround he had was phenomenal, and the fungal growths he got on the Void Rays to begin with. I think he actually caught every single one, which softened them up quite nicely. And of course, that fungal to begin with on the High Templar to prevent them from getting to the position they needed to be to take that army.
Yeah, we see next coming back with the supply lead, but there's just so many Void Rays. So we need some really key fungals here.
Don't think he actually has any Infestors in this army, so
they're trailing
the single one coming on. Oh, it was okay, but
3 about to pop right now. So he's
bringing it back to the Spore Crawlers is probably the best way to do it. Getting in that nice concave. I don't think PiLiPiLi can engage on this particular angle. Reinforcing with more High Templar and Zealots. You know, like, Nex has done a fantastic job. He's been able to stop these Zealots from closing.
There's so many fungals here. Oh, nice feedbacks go down.
Yeah, feedbacks on 2 of them. What a great fungal, actually caught 8 or so of the Void Rays in the back and the entire clump of those Zealots. Splitting back now is next. Decent feedbacks go down though on the Queens. We still have that one Infestor in the back.
But yeah, this was talking about before. The Void Rays might reign supreme. But where is that Remax at? We have 17, now 21 Hydras on production, as well as 10 additional Lings. But here we are, that's quite nice to play. Zealots are going to be warped into the main there. Going to do some economic damage, and the lair goes down again. And as soon as that lair falls, we see the GG. 2 O's from either side. Very quick series.
Colossi on the way too. So I mean, even if that army did get cleaned up, he didn't have any answer for the Colossus because Hydras and Infestors just aren't what you want against a Colossus.
Yeah, as well as he could have taken as many bases as he wanted at that point as well. He had the map control he needed.
All right, so I believe we are going into our winners match first here. Actually, let me double check on that because we are working around some scheduling conflicts here.